Hi children, we are continuing the chapter morphology of flowering plants. That are first one is placentation. You know what is placentation? Placentation is the arrangement of ovules on the placenta of the ovary. What is placentation? Arrangement of ovules on the placenta of the ovary. You have already seen ovules are arranged inside the ovary. But where on the ovary the ovules are arranged? Ovules are arranged on the placenta of the ovary. In different plants, this placentation is different. In the first example, marginal placentation, you can see marginal placentation as in pea plants or pea seed or pea fruit, you can see. If a pea fruit or mutton you take, the ovules are arranged on the ridge of the ventral side of the ovary. Okay, this is the ridge. This is the ridge on the ventral side, and there is one more half coming. So the joining region of these two halves is called the ventral suture. Ventral suture. What it is? Ventral suture. So you can see the ventral suture here in the case of mutton or pea. You can see the ovules are arranged on the ventral suture. Here is the placenta. Placenta is along the ventral suture. So I got the idea marginal placentation. The ovules are arranged on the ventral suture on the ovary. Okay, that is marginal placentation. Now, in the second, axial placentation. What is the second? Axial placentation. AXILE, axial placentation. In the case of China rose. Okay, in the case of China rose, axial placentation. You can see the margins of carpels fused to central axis. See, suppose this is the ovary, cross section of the ovary. The margins, this is the margin. Okay, this is the margin of the carpels. This is the margin of the carpels fused to the center. This is central axis. Central axis. Central axis, and this is the margin of the carpel. Here is the placenta. Okay, and this placenta you can see the ovules attached. That is called axial placentation. So what is axial placentation? Margins of the carpel. This is the margin of the carpel. So it's central axis. Central axis. Margins of the carpel is fused with the central axis. So the placenta develop on the central axis where the ovules are attached. Okay, here is the placenta. Yes. Now the next one is parietal placentation. In parietal placentation, ovules are arranged on the inner wall of the ovary. Suppose this is the ovary and this is the inner wall. Ovules are arranged on the inner wall of the ovary. This is called parietal placentation because the placenta is on the inner wall of the ovary. This is called the parietal placentation. So in parietal placentation, but the ovules are arranged on the inner wall of the ovary. Ovules are arranged on the inner wall of the ovary so that the placenta is seen on the inner wall and where the ovules are attached. Right? Now the next one comes free central placentation. Free central placentation. Ovules are arranged on the inner wall, central axis. Okay. Here the difference from the axial placentation is axial placentation margins of the carpels are fused here in the central axis. But here the margins of the carpels are not attached to the central axis. Central axis is free from the margin of the carpels. So here you can see like this. This is always central axis. No margin of the carpels attached here. So here you can see the placenta. Both appears picture wise same, but this is the difference. Okay, this is free central. Now basal placentation. In basal placentation, if you take the cross section of the ovary, the placenta is at the base. So the ovule attached to the base. This is the ovary. What we are studying now, basal placentation. Okay, basal placentation. Ovary is here, but the placenta is at the base of the ovary, and on which the ovule is attached. So these are the different types of placentation. What is placentation? Arrangement of ovules on the placenta of the ovary is called placentation. There is marginal placentation in which placenta ovules are arranged on the placenta on the ridge of the ventral suture. Then axial placentation, when ovules are attached to the margins of the carpels used for central axis. Now parietal placentation, ovules on inner wall of the ovary. Free central placentation, ovules on central axis of the ovary. Basal placentation, placenta is on the base of the ovary. Okay. Now we are coming to fruit and seed. What is a fruit? Fruit is a mature or fertilized ovary. After fertilization, what develop? Ovary become fruit. Ovary become fruit. This fruit has 3 layers. For example, if you take the mango, okay, mango, you take an example, mango. There are 3. Pericarp is the fruit wall. Seed is seen inside the fruit. Not actually, this is the seed. The outside layer of the so what is fruit wall? The fruit wall is called pericarp. Pericarp. Pericarp is the fruit wall which has 3 layers. Outer ectocarp. Ectocarp. Middle fleshy. Mesocarp. And the inner hard layer, that is called endocarp, that is close to the seed, endocarp. So what are the 3 layers of the pericarp or fruit wall? Epicarp, ectocarp, or we can also say epicarp or ectocarp. Then middle mesocarp and the inner endocarp. Endocarp is always fused with the seed. So these are the 3 layers. And there are different types of fruits. Simple fruits and compound fruits or multiple fruits that we will study later on. Then 2 examples of fruit, that means simple fruit. Pom example apple. Okay. Drupe mango coconut. So 2 examples of simple fruit is written here. Drupe is the example for mango and coconut. Apple for palm fruit. Okay. So drupe and palm. But fruit of the what we call mattar, you can say mattar fruit. That is called pod. So there are different types of. Now what is seed? Seed is the fertilized ovule. Seed is the ovule formed after fertilization. So after fertilization, ovule becomes seed. Ovule become seed. And there are 2 categories of seed: dicot seed and monocot seed. Dicot seed, as you have seen in many dicot plants, like such as tamarindus or what we call imli seed, then cashew nut seed, Even you can see the pea seeds or groundnut seed. All these are dicot seed. Okay. So in a dicot seed, you can see two cotyledons. In a dicot seed, you can see two cotyledons. Two cotyledons. Actually, the seed appear like this. When we put in water for some hours, it will absorb water by fission and swells up. Remove the seed coat, then you can get two cotyledons. In dicot seed, you can see two cotyledons. So this is called a cotyledon. Cotyledon. You have studied in class 10. At the center, there is one embryo. There is one embryo at the center. Through the center, you can see one central axis. One line you can pass. That is called the central axis. The upper part of the central axis we call, or embryo is called the plumule. Plumule develop into shoot. You all know that. And radicle is the lowermost part that develop into root. So what are the parts of dicot seed? Dicot seed has three parts: two cotyledon, one embryonic axis, and one embryo. Upper part of the embryo is called the plumule, which develop into shoot, and the lower part of the embryo is called the radicle, which develop